Yo, yo, yo to the yo, 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 and for you, I made it. All right, top of mind here is I got a comment. Remember, there's 500 hours of new YouTube content a minute on the platform. But for some reason, man, these guys, they find me. And the word on the street is that my voice is too soft and I ramble. Well, I took this very seriously, and I pinned his post on the chat, the chat down below when the event is over, because I need to be reminded that my voice is too low and I tend to ramble. So I was thinking back at that particular stream, and I understand the ramble bit. I really do. What I don't understand is that there were 9 unique salient points about this case that I brought forth in the 25 minutes or under, with full chapters, by the way. You can fast forward through the ramble if you want to. But I've decided I'm going to make this particular post famous and try to remember that when I come on, even though I'm trying to do some service to myself by covering the story and pulling out from what I see and then pushing out what my observations are. Really, for me, that's very selfish. And it is. And I want to try and fix that, because it really isn't about me at all. And yet I'm not so certain that it's fully about Sebastian either. I don't know. There's very much conflict, really a stew pot of ignorance that is in the case that makes me hesitant, right? But I don't want to be that way. I want to be able to flip the switch and go live and be me for, 10 minutes. Imagine, whole day of my life. And I just want to be me for 10 minutes on the mic. So let's go ahead and run over to YouTube to make sure that we are good to go. And when we're actually live, that would be probably a good thing to start off with. And I'm not going to mess around too much with the chat tonight. I think there is definitely something that I don't quite get. We had a good use of it the first night that I went live, but not so much now. Let me run over to my iPad and do a quick sound check. Give me a moment to do that. And let's see. Yeah, there we go. Ooh. Okay, we'll just put her on pause there for just a moment. Okay, so on Twitter, what I'm going to do is follow up on the tweets and expand on them, give them some flavor and color, because, Twitter is kind of hard. It can seem to have no context. There's no fluidity. It's really, really tough. So I thought I would go through the tweets of this last bit of the last 24 hours and add that context and color. At the same time, I wanted to make sure that you knew that Twitter is actually giving me kudos for the numbers of impressions. Now, what that means is that my tweets are being served up to you guys and those people that follow the case, and it's hitting your timeline, and there are reactions to it to the tune of 9,000. Let me see if it's going to give it to me here. I think it's like 9,700 impressions. So thank you very much, and God bless the ones that are keeping the lights on, as they say, for him. Okay, 21 hours ago, pardon me, that one was about an MLM that I cover. Let's start off with 19 hours ago. As you know, I take as many of the interviews, live events, and other kind of pushed out narratives, and I take them over to Medium and I do unedited transcripts. These are just raw transcripts. And this is all really from and being, I'm encouraged to do this and get the confidence to do this because of Badi Mouvain, who has this incredible Google Sheets, timelines, maps, and that sort of thing. But she takes the transcripts, the raw transcripts, and then she runs them through another program, which is probably a prettier way of looking at the words that were spoken into the mic. But I've decided to just go with it raw. Um, for me, when I'm listening to it and then I read the raw, I'm not skipping ahead. I'm actually living through the ums and ahs and swear words and even, of course, the misspellings are horrible. The words are all horrible, but it doesn't fill in the blanks, and I think this is very important. It seems to me that a lot of the opinions, which become these untenable accusations and the speculation, you're filling in the blanks. So when you're forced to not do that, like for me, the unedited transcripts, they give a certain sense of confidence that what I'm hearing is what is being said. I'm not filling in the blanks. The AI is not filling in the blanks for the person that is either lacking or hesitant. They misjudge their confidence, their own confidence in these cases. So that's why we kind of do it that way, if you guys can follow me there. So I did an unedited transcript of Where is Sebastian Rogers? With the host Bullhorn Betty speaking to her viewers. And I was rather hesitant to do it because it was so far removed from the promise of the title of the video, Where is Sebastian Rogers? And it actually, I don't even know if she covered the topic in the event. So the reason that I was hesitant is that it was difficult to accept that she is an advocate team member for Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father. And she's a team member in this way. She's been announced as being a team member through Tony Mathis, the lead PR representative for Seth, and others that are in their circle because her YouTube videos are pushed out. She gets comments, super chats, and the attraction of these other characters that are involved in the case. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the Medium article. Thank you to those 83 people read the first bit, but I attached the transcript and got 19 impressions on that. And so if you pick it up, it's called Unedited Transcript of Where is Sebastian Rogers, and you'll see it on my timeline 19 hours ago. And it went something like this. She welcomes her people. She goes through what is up with her puppy and missing or not missing the pee pad, and goes in to say good morning to, as I said, all of her chat. Quite a bit of that going on. I can't tell you how long the video was. I didn't write that down. And more about blisters and some sort of hurt and pain, and talking about other investigators. Still, there's no word on Sebastian. Not a word yet, okay? I'm going to keep going down. And then, of course, here come the insults. Stupid idiots. Actually, if you find the word stupid in a lot of these transcripts, it seems to be a popular phrase. And that, how stupid everyone else is and that they need to be schooled, that sort of thing. More stupid stuff. Still, I have not found one mention of Sebastian. talking about criminal behavior, the commitment of felonies by other creators, what is true crime, what isn't true crime. Then, of course, the cursey words start, people considering people animals and hyenas and to stay the fuck off and blah, 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 like that. Still not a word. Imagine this is the very beginning of a day, and where we would go to get some sort of, I don't know, almost kind of like daily direction in a little bit, a little way, a little kind of a, yeah, like a playbook of how the day is going to fare out. We do get a little mention of the stepfather and the mother, and how crappy the country is without her fearless leader, and still nothing at all about Sebastian. Considering Katie and the stepfather, Katie being mommy dearest and the stepfather being the stepfather of the year, so this is just more snark and more attack, ad hominem. She wants to talk about other creators, Dolly Vision, and it looks as though she wants to also point something towards Jonathan Lee Riches of JLR Investigates. That everyone else is somehow playing the victim. And then she gets right into all of the illegalities around Sumner County, Tennessee, talking about law and order. Still, once again, we have Katie, we have Christopher Proudfoot, JLR. That's all. No mention of Sebastian. So you get the gist. So you can read it for yourself. If you find salient points about Sebastian, where is Sebastian Rogers? What does his family know? That is the full name of the YouTube video, and I did not get much of it. I did listen, of course. But I will go back and watch and go, measure it against the transcript. Okay, so that was post number 1. Post number 2. Okay, so post number 2, 9 hours ago, during a call-in, this was a call-in to a creator. I believe the creator is Terry Lynn, and I think the way that this call went about was this was a recorded, personal, private phone call that was made public between the stepfather and Terry Lynn. And the stepfather recounts his actions that morning of Monday, February 26th. And here are a few statements made. So Christopher says that Katie called him. She called me. I'll just do the paraphrasing here. We talked. We did this. We did that. There was a hang tight. I called the sheriff's office and got directly through to the sheriff's office. Immediately called the dispatch. Within 10 minutes, they were there. Then I called Seth, the father. I asked my mother to go over there. So she called me. We talked. We did this, we did that. There was a hang tight moment. He called the sheriff's office and got directly through to the sheriff's office. Immediately called the dispatch. Within 10 minutes, they were there. Then he called Seth, and during this, at what point in time, I don't know, he asked his mother to go over there. So that is 9 hours ago from a call-in. Just once again paraphrasing, and thank you to the people that stopped by to read that tweet. All right, so something that I've been doing is putting some texture around my thoughts with just graphics. And day 220, day 221, which is today, since Sebastian has vanished from his mother's home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. And I do believe that what we are seeing are fractured remnants of the true crime niche and all of the content creators moving forward as they look and peer into other cases and move a bit away from, because they fear the legal system and the threats that have been put on their performance as content creators. So you will see that they are going towards Diddy, Murdaugh, Soto, and others. And once again, in my opinion, it is in part due to bombastic threats flying about. And you can see the graphic there. The FBI, we know the FBI is involved. Of course, they got involved after TBI was involved. The main news stations that handle any programming about the case are News Nation and Court TV. We have the father's badge, being that he is a sheriff deputy. Dog the Bounty Hunter, some of you may not know, but Polyclass Foundation makes it a priority to have the story of Sebastian Rogers on its website. Okay, this is a little bit of a law lesson that I did 5 hours ago. This is a snippet from a lawsuit, and there's some information that I wanted to kind of share about when you make allegations with no assertions of fact. And this is true when you're a content creator as well. Having an allegation, having to continue to say that it's an allegation, when actually the whole piece should be that this is my opinion, these are just allegations, and I have no assertions of fact. I have no proof. So imagine what that would feel like if you were saying that over and over again. After about probably the 5th time, if you had your head together, you would realize that your opinion translates into an allegation. And then, of course, you have no assertions of fact. It goes back to being an opinion, and you have no proof. And the problem with that is that it will meet the threshold of approval, because we can see that Seth's team, of course, and all the content creators would love to get approval, like please go and do and be and share what you are thinking. It gives us newer ideas and all, but they're not doing that at all. In fact, all of the content creators in this particular case have been met with a threshold of disapproval and threats of being sued. So it's being dismissed summarily through lawyers and great marketers. So it ends up being repetitive. It's burdensome. We know that there's thousands of pieces of content just on YouTube, let alone Facebook and TikTok, of course, that took over such a big part of the sharing of the story. It becomes repetitive and burdensome for anyone such as Bowdy, such as myself, in which we're trying to weed through and be shielded from making allegations with no assertion of fact. You don't want to do that in true crime. Maybe in true crime, that's okay. In true crime, not so much. It's imprudent, and it's showing. It's being showcased that it is. So there is a defamation suit that is out there, and this is an example of this repetitive, burdensome, pro se filing, and it offers little conclusions beyond the plaintiff's demands. It just ends up eating its own tail. Then let's get into some kind of really cool stuff. 4 hours ago, let me check how things are going over at YouTube. I think we're still good. Yeah. So I've been taking a little bit of this here and there, extrapolating, and putting that over to Gemini. And it took me a while. It took a little bit of time for Gemini to get the concept of what I was trying to do, because as a large language model, I would love if I could say, here are 5 factual bits of information. What can you glean from this to come up with an hypothesis? Well, he doesn't really like to do that too much. However, I did it from a theatrical point of view, as if we were putting together a treatment for a mini-series, a movie, or could even be a trailer of some sort before the show. So I think it's just fascinating to me. So Gemini came up with this treatment, and the name of it is called the fabricator. Wow. What we are basically seeing, this is from real information from the voices of these people taken over to Gemini. And the question was asked, what can we glean from this? And there were pros and cons, and I will tell you. A lot of it was very pro, but most of it was redemptive. And so the fabrication has to come out, in order to persuade people in and towards a narrative to be redeemed. Because you've just been a really shitty person, and you need to have redemption in your life. So the fabricator is a discredited investigator, haunted by the past of fabricated evidence, becomes embroiled in a high-profile missing person case, forcing them to confront their own demons and the consequences of their past lies. Act 1. The film opens with a montage of news clips showcasing the investigator's downfall. Once a celebrated detective, their career was derailed by a series of fabricated cases. Now they live in obscurity, haunted by the ghosts of their past. Act 2. The investigator is unexpectedly drawn into the investigation of Sebastian Rogers' disappearance. Initially reluctant, they gradually become consumed by the case, recognizing the parallels between their own fabricated cases and the missing person's mysterious circumstances. Act 3. As the investigation deepens, the investigator begins to uncover disturbing secrets about their past and the people involved in the Sebastian Rogers case. They must confront the consequences of their past actions while also navigating the dangerous world of corruption and deception. The themes: redemption. Can a person who has lied and manipulated the truth ever find redemption? The theme of obsession. The investigator's obsession with the case becomes a driving force, both propelling them forward and leading them down a dangerous path. Theme: the power of truth. The film explores the destructive consequences of lies and the importance of honesty, even in the face of adversity. The tone: dark and suspenseful. The film should have a gritty, noir-like atmosphere reflecting the investigator's troubled past and the dangerous world they inhabit. Tone: psychological thriller. The focus should be on the investigator's internal struggle and the psychological toll of their past actions. Key characters: the investigator, a complex and morally ambiguous character, haunted by their past. Sebastian Rogers, the missing person whose disappearance becomes a catalyst for the investigator's redemption. The mentor, a former colleague who offers the investigator guidance and support. The antagonist, a powerful figure who threatens the investigator and their investigation. The mini treatment provides a foundation for a dramatic theatrical film that explores themes of redemption, obsession, and the power of truth. The fabricator, from the story of Sebastian. I don't know. I think I went a little wild with that one. Okay, so let's go fast forward a little bit more. There's a couple more, but one of the creators went through the neighborhood today. So I took a couple screenshots. And one of the screenshots, of course, is the very front of the house that shows the 7 steps off of the front landing that just basically comes onto a sidewalk. And then as far as like being one of the grander houses, this is not one of the grander houses of the neighborhood. You should go on that drive-through and see that there are much more grander houses. In fact, this house presents itself as being almost kind of like a, before the properties were developed. It may actually be one of the older houses in the subdivision because it just does not have the grandeur that the other layouts have. So, my graphic is one sign tells the whole world I am missing. There's one sign practically leant over to the left in front of the post box by the road that he is missing. Of the entire neighborhood, of what I witnessed, a side view of the entire neighborhood being driven through, there are no signs in the neighborhood. Yet signs, flyers, protests, vigils, cycle rides, volunteer searches, law enforcement of the highest bar, realtors, lawyers, sheriffs, naval veterans, big families, privilege, marriages, divorce, autism, ADHD, chromosomal deletion syndrome, no friends, video games, and one sign tells the world, I am missing. It's hard to get over that. That was 3 hours ago. So with that, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. See how long we've been up. And let me take this down a little bit. I don't think I can tell how long I've been live. Yeah, I don't think I can. So we will leave it at that. I know it says starting soon. Sorry, it's because I'm not on my, what can I say? I didn't change my starting soon screen. So let's go ahead and get out of that. And there is myself of days gone by. There will be a fair use copyright disclaimer down below. I'm still working on it. It's obvious that the intention is I'm not sharing or showing all of the content that I am created. I consider as my own authorship and ISBN protected. So, but we will play along with this fair use doctrine. Okay, so there we go on that. And let me get a transition over here so we can see what's going on there. I do have a see you later placard that I need to download from Stream Elements. I want to thank Stream Elements for offering the Christmas layout as we sunset our very long-lived, gorgeousness relationship, wonderful relationship that I've had with StreamYard. I've not been back on StreamYard. I did do a recording of this that you'll see, and I'll be doing more recordings until my pro account lapses. And even though I have lots and lots and lots of months ahead that I can take from my friends and family account that I have that I've built up over the years. But more than likely, I will be suffering with the rest of you and figuring out OBS to meet up with what I need to accomplish here on YouTube. I do know that there'll be a lot of people looking into certain ways that they're going to call in and how in the world are they going to, share all of this. I do believe that the Discord, whether it's a plug-in or the widget, that might be something that you all would enjoy, especially it sounds as though most of you have a Discord, and you can just create a live group on Discord and then push it out to YouTube, if that's something that you guys want to be thinking about. Of course, showcasing the comments on the screen seems to do quite a bit for your audience, but I would encourage that the audience begins to coalesce and come on over to your unique Discord, which, there's so many cool things that you can do with a Discord. So with that, what are we going to do? We're going to do the Christmas, let's see here. How do we want to do this? What do we want to do? Where's the starting soon screen again? Why can't I read this? There it is. Put that back over my face. All right. And transition it back over. All right, guys. So that's it. We went through Lardy-Dar, the Twitter. And so if I don't go live, maybe you get an idea of what my tone is and where I'm coming from. And then I'll be bringing, if there's enough Twitter, of course, I'll come on over and bring it here. If not, the next time that you'll hear from me will be discussing Etsy and what's going on over there for fourth quarter. A lot of fascinating things, and I'm learning about Etsy as a platform and being a shop owner. So until then, bye-bye now.